Well, good morning. It is the first day of my reading class, and it took me all of 40 minutes to get to the location, to the school that is offering the class. So it took me 40 minutes. Not bad, not bad. It's 8 o'clock. I need to be in class by 8:30, so I am here early. And of course, you know how it is on the first day. When you're arriving the first day somewhere, you want to be early. You don't really know where you're going. You don't know how traffic is going to be. Traffic wasn't too bad, but it was kind of bad, but not too bad. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and head out, and I will catch you guys in a little bit. It is Thursday, and it is, wait, who is that in the background? Wait, is that the learning project in the background? Guys, if you have not already subscribed to my channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Also hit the like button. Don't be shy about your comments, because I love comments. I love communication and talking back and forth. So just make sure that you subscribe to my channel. If you like my content, share it with your friends, share it with your family, share it with your school community, other teachers. Yeah, let's just kind of go ahead and build this community. But guys, it is Thursday, and in my state, it has been a lot of rain. Oh my gosh. You all know that I'm taking that class. I'm having a fantastic time. I'm actually learning just so much, and I'm just so thankful to be in this reading class where I'm just learning about different strategies for differentiating instruction, things like that. I could go on and on, but I won't. But yeah, we actually had our classroom home today because of all of the rain and the flooding in my state. So we had a class on Zoom, and it was just a great class. I got a chance to be home, and I wanted to just talk with you guys about, you know what, when is it, or is it ever okay to tell a child, your child, right, to hit another student? Is it ever okay to tell your child to hit another student? And when is it okay for this to happen? So this video is going to be more of a story time of what was happening this school year. Now, these events were not happening like in my classroom. There was actually happening in my colleague's classroom, and I was able to, you know, just witness some of this. Some of this is what, you know, my coworker, my colleague had shared with me as well. But I kind of watched and witnessed this kind of from a distance unfold throughout the school year. And yeah, so, okay, my colleague had, let's say, 2 students in her class. She had several students, but I'm specifically talking about 2 students. And let's call one of them Jack. So Jack was just really aggressive and just would yell at other kids, would throw things at kids, like even in the classroom setting. He would maybe throw paper, throw pencil. Sometimes he would, you know, hit another kid, sometimes not. He would put up the middle finger, you know, just kind of that kind of aggressive, maybe even we would describe the behavior as like kind of like bullying behavior in the classroom. And it wasn't targeted toward like one specific kid, but it was just kind of like whomever was in his vicinity or around him, he would just kind of, you know, lash out at, and he would exhibit that behavior toward them. And then when the class was like in an unstructured setting, like for instance, if the class was like at lunch, then he would really be more aggressive and, you know, throw food and just really kind of be that bullying behavior. When at recess, the same type of behavior. And so again, it wasn't targeted at like one particular student. It was just whoever was in his vicinity. And so like Jack's desk was like by itself. He had a lot of space around him. He really couldn't sit with the other students. And, yeah, this behavior kind of was just going on and on. It didn't really like escalate. It kind of just remained that type of behavior. And yes, before I know you're going to ask, the teacher, she talked with administration, and administration was involved and knew about this behavior and was involved in her classroom, as well as the counselor, as well as the parent was brought in for parent-teacher conferences. The child was being pulled out of the classroom to meet with the counselors. Just like all of those different things were occurring. And my colleague also let the parents know in the classroom, whomever, like whatever child was being involved or targeted, or just whatever child experienced Jack's kind of aggressive bullying behavior, that child was contacted either by the administration or by the counselor or by the social worker or by my colleague to just let them know, okay, this is what happened. This is, in a nutshell, we're handling this. And so this went on throughout like the school year. So even though the behavior was being addressed, Jack's behavior really just kind of remained the same. Sometimes he had gotten better. Sometimes his behavior was a little bit worse. In all honesty, Jack ended up going on like medication, and that medication, it takes a minute for medication to kind of get into your system and for everyone to see like the full effects of the medication. Sometimes they have to change medication. So he was kind of going through that process, but as he was going through that process, his behavior would sometimes be a little bit more, and sometimes it would be a little bit less, but it was never eradicated. That behavior was still there. So this kind of went on. Well, there was another student, and let's call his name Sam. So Sam, like all the other kids in the class, he was the recipient of some of Jack's behavior. So like he wasn't targeted, but like when Jack would show that aggressive or bullying behavior, Sam was definitely one of several students who were on the receiving end of that. And his parents were one of the parents who were contacted when something was going on in the classroom and parents needed to be notified. Well, Sam's parents were notified along with the rest of the other students' parents as well. But the difference between Sam and Sam's parents and the rest of the class is that Sam's parents, they came in because they were concerned, and they met with the teacher, they met with the administration and the counselor. They were reassured that different measures were happening and taking place in the class to ensure that the kids' student safety and well-being was being taken care of as well. And so they really expressed the fact that they didn't like school at all, and that they didn't feel like school was necessary, but they just kind of just shared their opinion about school as a whole and the educational system. And they also shared their like disappointment with the fact that this behavior was still occurring in the classroom over, a couple of weeks or perhaps even a couple of months. But the difference between Sam's parents and the rest of the students' parents is that Sam's parents told him that it was okay for him to retaliate and to hit Jack. And so it kind of, what started off is that when Jack was exhibiting that behavior like he always did, then, and if Sam got hit, or if Sam, was in his area and was on the receiving end of that behavior, then Sam, instead of like telling the teacher, or instead of like, moving out of the way, he would just kind of wait, and then he would actually physically hit Jack. And so then it became, okay, Jack is exhibiting this and this is going, and then Sam is retaliating. So then it became kind of two students kind of going at it in the classroom, because Sam was like, my parents told me I can hit him. My parents told me that I don't have to accept this behavior. My parents this, my parent that. And so even if like Jack accidentally, let's say they're playing or doing something, he accidentally bumped into Sam is like attacking Jack. And so the situation and the scenario, if you can imagine, kind of started to shift, whereas it was more so where Jack was being the aggressor or showing this behavior, and Jack is on medication and the behavior is lessening. It's getting, somewhat better, right? It's not totally eradicated, but getting somewhat better. But then you have Sam, who is like on the lookout and on the hunt for this type of behavior out of Jack. And even if Jack was like exhibiting this behavior behavior towards other students, then you would have Sam there, like kind of blocking and then attacking Jack. And then it became a situation where they needed to contact Sam's parents and say, okay, wait a minute. And then the parents Sam was saying, my parents said that I can retaliate, I can hit him. And then the parents also said, well, yeah, if you guys aren't doing what I think you should be doing to curtail this behavior in the classroom, then this is our solution. So as you can imagine, the two were kind of, going at it. But then something curious happens. Next thing we know, Sam is the one that's not just being the aggressor with Jack, but if anybody bumped into Sam, let's say a girl bumped into Sam was just like pushing and hitting and, showing that behavior towards her. If anyone looked at Sam, if you just look at him funny, or what he felt was kind of, you're staring at me, then he was kind of up in other students' face. So it ended up being where the pendulum kind of did a swing the other way. And next thing you know, Sam is the one that is being the aggressor towards everyone. He's the one that's on the playground pushing kids. And it was a point where like Sam had friends, and Sam had like a group that they would play together, and a group that he would kind of like gravitate towards and sit with in the cafeteria. But they started to not want to be around him because his behavior was aggressive and his behavior was kind of unpredictable. And they were just like, what's going on? Because now they're on the receiving end of Sam. And so, when the teacher was trying to talk to the parents and say, well, we need to you need to talk to your child and put some parameters on what you're saying or giving him the green light to do. They were just, I wasn't in that conversation, but it basically Sam's behavior just continued. So it ended up being where, Jack, for whatever the reasons, the medication, whatever, started to calm down a little bit more. But now Sam is the aggressor, and Sam is the one that is like being, bullying or having bullying behavior or aggressive behavior towards his once friends. And he's no longer being invited to join in the games during recess and things like that. And so even though the situation, okay, he's no longer, I guess, like the victim of bullying, now he is the bully or his bullying behavior. But then it's like, okay, but Sam was not happier being that way. You know what I mean? Like it was like I would just watch him, and when I would see him like during a recess or like when the kiddos were in the cafeteria, he was kind of like isolated, and you could tell that he was really sad and he was actually really alone. Whereas before he really had a lot of friends. He was well liked, but now he's just kind of lonely, kind of sad, kind of misunderstood type of kid in the classroom with little to no friends, but with kind of, all this anger or all this aggression towards everyone. And the counselors end up getting involved with him, talking with the parents and, suggesting to the parents, okay, we've got to come up with another solution. Your kid is not happy. Yes, you don't want him to be like bullied or picked on, but like now he's not happy with the alternative. So then, so I just was thinking about it, like, when is it ever okay to tell is it ever okay to tell your child, you know what, you can hit back or you can fight back, especially with no parameters or no conversation surrounding like, okay, when this is okay or when you need to contact the teacher, like just giving them like a blank slate to just do it. And is it ever okay to do that? From what I witnessed, I would say like, no, it's never okay I get it. Like, I totally understand where you want your kid to kind of stick up for themselves and not be the victim. But clearly the answer is not just, okay, attacking the bully and just being, having that aggression and having that anger, but like with it nowhere to go, like, if that makes sense. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about that. I wanted you guys to weigh in on that on this particular video. I will want to hear your comments. Truly, these are 5-year-olds that I'm talking about and 6-year-olds. So I know it looks differently perhaps when you get to older kids, especially at the high school level. But I just want you to share your thoughts. If you're a teacher, has this ever happened to you? Let me know. If you're a parent, do you agree with what the parents did in this situation, or can you see that maybe that wasn't the right kind of direction to give a child? Just let me know, just weigh in on this. That's all I have on this one. And thanks for watching. And go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Comment, please. Let's talk about this a little bit. Share our perspectives. And I'll see you on the next one. This is Shay with The Learning Project.